In October 2017, we finally had the chance to follow the story of an openly gay teenager for the new season of Andy Mack on Disney Channel. It is the first time that Disney is really going to talk about some LGBTQ issues, but queerness has been a part of Disney for a long time, and this is what we are going to take a look at today. Make sure you watch this video until the end to know why parents wanted to ban Frozen. If you love Disney as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today, we are showing you Disney's long, complicated history with gay characters. Disney's history with gay characters is not as recent as you might think. LGBTQ characters have been part of the Disney family since only a few years after it was founded. At that time, the characters were not openly gay, but they were clearly queer, meaning that they were outside the usual heterosexual norm. The word queer can also be an umbrella term for the LGBT community as it represents lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders. According to Sean Griffin, who wrote Tinkerbells and Evil Queens, the Walt Disney Company from the Inside Out, and as reported by Harper's Bazaar, it was often possible to read queer narratives between the lines. As homosexuals weren't really accepted at that time, Disney needed to find a way to show someone who is different without making him too different. It all started with the short film Ferdinand the Bull in 1938. The 8-minute film was inspired by Monroe Leaf's The Story of Ferdinand. It told the story of a bull who didn't conform to the expectations of masculinity. All the other bulls wanted to fight, while Ferdinand just wanted to sit quietly under a tree to smell the flowers all day. Even when he grew up to be huge and was forced to fight in Madrid, he was too distracted by the scent of the flowers to do anything. The sweet bull also had long eyelashes and many other feminine characteristics, making him really different compared to the other masculine bulls. Disney won an Oscar for the Best Animated Short, so we can say that people really did appreciate queer characters at that time, even though they probably didn't even know what that word meant. Then, in 1941, we also saw TheReluctant Dragon. When a boy heard that there was a dragon, he decided to meet him and quickly realized that this mythical creature was actually really nice. The dragon loved poetry and music and was also very friendly compared to the monster that the boy saw in his book. A knight wanted to get rid of this scary creature, but when the boy heard about that, he made sure that the man and the dragon wouldn't hurt each other. While people thought that they were fighting, they were actually just drinking tea or dancing together. The dragon is a great example of how men don't have to conform to heterosexual standards or any masculine characteristic that society expects them to have. People are scared of what they don't know, and the Reluctant Dragon showed them that unique people could be really nice when you take the time to get to know them. It was a good story to teach children how to accept differences and not judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, in 1930 came a code that was going to change everything about the queer characters. The Motion Picture Production Code, always known as the Hays Code, prohibited sex perversion or any inference, as reported by Harper's Bazaar. Films could only present correct standards of life, and nudity and references to sexual behaviors couldn't be shown. Just to make it even more clear that they didn't like queer people, what they considered to be perverse, like homosexuality, couldn't be depicted in any way. The code was seriously enforced in 1943 and had more impact during the 1940s. Since that day, any male character with more feminine characteristics had to be portrayed as evil. In 1953's Peter Pan, Captain Hook was a prissy dandy dressed in bright pink who liked to prey on young boys. It encouraged the stereotype that homosexuals are predators interested in children. Following this idea, filmmaker David Thorpe was interested in the gay voice that Disney often gave to villains in Do I Sound Gay? Thorpe told Harper's Bazaar that some feminine characteristics showed that there was something a little bit off with these characters. It included Jafar from Aladdin in 1992 and Scar from The Lion King in 1994. For decades, Disney films have reinforced the stereotypes that gay men are bad because not only do they scheme and enact mischief upon the good characters, but they are also bad because they don't conform to cultural norms of gender. The filmmaker then started describing queer characters who are flamboyant, use flowery language, pay a lot of attention to how they dress, and have a very snobbish way of speaking. This was a stereotype, and not all gay men are like that. But Disney still wanted to use this gay stereotype to represent the villains in many movies. This time, being different was a bad thing, and they had to teach children to not go too far from the heterosexual norms. However, during this time, Disney still had the chance to sneak in a queer character in The Little Mermaid in 1989. Can you guess who it is? Some people said that Ursula was actually inspired by a drag queen called Divine. They made sure that the octopus was really born female in the film, but we still love to think that the character was inspired by one of the most fabulous women out there. Back to Disney's gay villains. You might be surprised that they still made fun of queer characters recently. In 2012's Wreck-It Ralph, we say another gay villain. While Ralph, the hero, was a really tough masculine guy, King Candy was wearing a fancy outfit and lived in a pink palace. The character would quickly reply that it's not pink, it's salmon, as if it would be bad for a man to live in a pink palace. It's not that bad, or we are used to seeing that. But then we were totally shocked when we heard Ralph call the Candy King a Nelly wafer. We understand that it is like a Nelly wafer, but when we look for the definition of Nelly on Google, we read that it means an effeminate homosexual man. How did Disney get away with that? There is clearly a homophobic slang in this movie, and even if kids don't know what it means, they probably won't be shy to use this word and hurt people who understand it. We should never tolerate the use of a word like this in a kids' movie. Disney was more popular than ever in 2013 with Frozen. Don't worry, we love this movie just as much as you do. Elsa was a princess, or actually a queen, who didn't need a man. The only thing she was looking for was the love of her sister and the strength to accept who she truly was. But some people imagined another story when they heard her sing Let It Go. According to them, this story was about coming out of the closet. After all, she did talk about always being a good girl who wouldn't let people see who she truly was. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. These could totally be the perfect lyrics for a coming out. Many fans wanted Elsa to finally find her princess, even though we are really happy to see a queen who doesn't mind living on her own. But unfortunately, not everyone liked to see a character that could be queer in a Disney movie. Pastor Kevin Sampson called Frozen the work of evil. According to what he said on the show, Disney indoctrinates young women to be lesbians and also convinces people that homosexuality and bestiality are acceptable in our society. He also thinks that people rejected their queen because they realized that she was a lesbian. Catherine Skaggs, a Mormon blogger, also thought that Frozen normalized homosexuality. She wrote, "The words to Let It Go are clearly not Christian values friendly by any stretch of the imagination when understood and heard. This is not an innocent song with a catchy tune. It is rebellious. It mocks moral absolutes. It is careless." That's what Catherine said. And we think that if loving yourself is wrong, we don't want to be right. However, we think that they see gay propaganda in anything. Writers from the LGBTQ community even said that Disney probably didn't intend to make Elsa a queer character, but it happened, and we should celebrate it. If there is one thing that we don't like about the idea of Elsa being gay, it is that people assume that she is a lesbian just because she doesn't have a prince. They don't seem to think that a girl would like to be happy on her own, and if she becomes a homosexual, that's probably because a man is missing in her life. Moreover, they didn't even consider that she could be bisexual, pansexual, or simply queer. We don't agree with this idea, and we'd rather keep this story like it is. As long as we don't know Elsa's sexual orientation, people can interpret it in their favorite way. And that's what we love about art. Let Elsa be a lesbian if that's a good inspiration for you, but let her be single if that's what you prefer. It's only in 2014 in Good Luck Charlie that we really had the chance to see a lesbian couple. In this episode, Bob and Amy were talking about who was coming over for a playdate with their daughter, Charlie. Amy said that the kid's mom was named Susan, while Bob said that he met her too, but her name was Cheryl. Did they accidentally invite two different kids? We were all surprised when they opened the door and we realized that there were actually two moms who had a kid together. Disney knew that this episode could be controversial. This is why they decided to develop the storyline under the consultancy of child development experts and community advisors. And like Disney Channel programming, it was developed to be relevant to kids and families around the world and to reflect themes of diversity and inclusiveness. However, not everyone was happy with this decision. The group 1 Million Moms wrote that just because something may be legal or because some are choosing a lifestyle doesn't make it morally correct. No matter what, many people defended the show and Disney didn't regret their decision. 2 years after, in Zootopia, Disney did show a gay couple, but it was really subtle. In this movie, Judy's neighbors are really loud, but if you paid attention to them as they entered their apartment, you will notice that they were two different male antelopes. They are not seen together, but we can assume that they are a married couple as they live together. Moreover, in the film's credits, they are listed as Bucky Oryx Antlerson and Pronk Oryx Antlerson. When we look at their last name, it is pretty clear that these two are married. That's not enough to shock parents, even though they shouldn't be shocked at all, but it is nice enough to show a little bit of diversity. In 2017, we finally had the chance to see a gay character in Beauty and the Beast, and that's not even just one possible interpretation. Disney really wanted to show more diversity. The director, Bill Condon, even said that he would see the first Disney exclusively gay moment in his movie. This gay character was LeFou, Gaston's best friend, or manservant. Bill explained that LeFou on one day wants to be Gaston and on another day wants to kiss Gaston. LeFou is clearly in love with the villain, and even if Gaston is not really interested in him, he doesn't reject him either. During another scene, Madame Garderobe attacked 3 men by dressing them up like ladies. 2 of them ran away, but another one really liked this look. It was great to see a man who was not afraid to show his feminine side. Later, in Beauty and the Beast, LeFou was also seen dancing with another man. It was really subtle, but we did see it. This is not a lot, but we are still really happy to see that Disney made an effort. But once again, some people thought that it was a step too far. In some countries like Malaysia, people wanted to ban this gay moment. They said that it is only one short scene, but it is inappropriate because many children will be watching this movie. However, they said that they would screen the scene without this gay moment. Disney refused, saying that they wouldn't cut this scene and the first openly gay character will remain in the movie. If you think that it only happens in other countries, you will be surprised to hear that a movie theater in Alabama wanted to ban Beauty and the Beast too. They said on their Facebook page, "If we cannot take our 11-year-old granddaughter and 8-year-old grandson to see a movie, we have no business watching it. If I can't sit through a movie with God or Jesus sitting by me, then we have no business showing it." But Disney didn't care, and they stood up for what they thought was right. It is in 2017 in Andy Mack that we finally got the chance to see a whole Disney story about an openly gay character on Disney Channel. For the second season of the show, we will follow a group of friends. Andy has a crush on Jonah, but her best friend Cyrus will quickly realize that he has feelings for Jonah too. Cyrus will get the help of a friend who will be there to support him, and we hope that it will be a great role model for teenagers. The story was developed with child development experts and screened in advance with organizations like Common Sense Media, GLAAD, and PFLAG, so parents wouldn't have to worry. We can't wait to see what will happen to this character, so make sure you watch this TV show if you haven't yet. We think that the next step is making a Disney movie with 2 princes. How would you like to see more diversity on screen? Make sure you answer in the comments section down below. We love to hear what you think. And that's it for Disney's long, complicated history with gay characters. For more stories like this, make sure you watch 10 Strange Reasons Why Disney Movies Were Banned. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!